Hi, welcome back to my photo booth here. I've got about 10 or 12 listings written up as drafts for my eBay shop. It's a bunch of duplicate things, so nothing too exciting today, but I'm going to try to get through as many of these photos as I can and get all this stuff ready to list on eBay. There's a little bit of a storm coming in, so Pineapple is probably going to be joining us. He's pretty anxious about the storms, and he might make it a little difficult. I'm gonna see if I can get him to show up here on camera. Pineapple, come here, bud. You wanna? Okay. He's hiding under there behind the desk for now. Maybe he'll come out. He usually likes to get picked up and held when he's anxious like this, so that's pretty tough to get any work done when somebody is in your arms. But we'll see if he's going to be okay or not. As long as he's fine, we're going to try to get some of these pictures taken and get these listings up. Things have still been slow in the shop, so I'm just posting some. I think these are a few higher value items, and hopefully I can get them sold quickly and get the shop back into shape for the end of the month. Okay, let's get started on taking photos right now. I'm not even sure if it's raining anymore. It was just sprinkling a few minutes ago. Seems like it's probably stopped. Usually takes him, once he gets going, takes him about 2 hours to calm down. So if you happen to live in my neighborhood, please keep that in mind when you're shooting off fireworks for no apparent reason. Last 4th of July, we had to go stay in a hotel to get away from our apparently very patriotic neighbors. It worked out okay. Not perfect, but in this neighborhood, the 4th of July seems to start about, I don't know, May 1st and end sometime late September. So it's frustrating to say the least. Right now, he's sitting on the floor behind me. Here he goes back under the desk again. He seems like he's gonna lay down and try to calm down a little bit. We'll see if he does or not. Okay, right here, I'm gonna take some photos of this cassette deck. It's I never knew if it was Technics or Techniques. When I was a kid, I always call it Techniques, but I don't know how you're really supposed to pronounce it. So it's an upper end of the low range of cassette decks from, I don't know, probably from the 90s. I got it for about, well, let's check. I think I got it for about, I just got an offer. I'm going to accept this for $23. This is some vintage Dungeons and Dragons dice. I'll show you, see if I can show you the photo. I bought a Dungeons and Dragons. It's like a board game from the same creators of Dungeons and Dragons, and it had 2 sets of these dice in there that were not part of the actual game. But these vintage dice, these are probably from 79 or 80, are relatively valuable. That set of dice I had listed for $26. I just got an offer for $23. I'm going to accept that for sure. That's just about 11% off of my asking price, so I'll take that. Okay, so that's one more sale for today. Not a bad one. That's going to be really easy to ship. Okay, let's get back to these photos. Okay, so I have, let's see, 11 drafts, so at least one of those is not going to be part of today's sale, so we'll see. I mean, today's photos. This cassette deck I got for $20 at Unique, and I plugged it in there at the store and pressed play. There was a cassette already in there. I pressed play. I could hear it activating, but here he comes again. Here, bud. You okay? You're okay. Get under there. Okay, he's gonna hide again. I could hear it starting. It like makes a clicking noise, but then I wasn't sure if it was working in the stores a little bit. You're okay. You're too scared. You're okay. You're okay. They say just ignore it when he acts like this. That's what the advice from dog trainers is. Don't do that. Don't do that. That hurts. Pineapple, lay down. But that doesn't, ignoring him doesn't help. he'll run around and start digging at things, and sometimes he digs through electrical cords. And luckily, one day I came home and the light didn't work, and I tried to turn it on, the light wouldn't come on, and then I reached down and grabbed the cord and slid my hand along it, trying to get to the end. I thought it had just come unplugged, and he had chewed through the whole thing, and I hit he clawed through it. He didn't chew through it. And I hit the electricals, the chewed spot, and almost electrocuted myself. So he's lucky the power wasn't on. Those lights are on a Google Home switch. So there was no electricity going to those lamps. Otherwise, he probably could have killed himself. So I get worried about him when he gets anxious like this. There's certain places he likes to go to, dig to the ground. And all of those places have electrical things there. So it's a little bit scary. Anyway, I checked this out in the store. I thought it was working. When I got it home, I realized it's engaging, but it's not actually spinning the tape. So if this was in working condition, it's maybe between $60 and $100. I'm going to just try to get my money back from it, get my $20 back. I think I have it listed for 36 or something like that. Well, I have it open right here. Yeah, I have the opening bid or the buy it now price at 36, and then I'm accepting offers of $30 and up. And if I can't sell it for that, I will try something else. I took a video of it, the way it acts, so the buyers can see exactly what the issue is, and they can decide for themselves if they're able to repair it. I am assuming it's belts. All of these old pieces of equipment have rubber belts in there, and that rubber has deteriorated over the last 30 or 40 years. It's now, if this was worth over 100 or even 200, Pineapple, don't dig. Don't dig. If this was worth enough, I might buy the belts and try to repair it myself. But I think the most it could be worth is 100, and it looks like more of them sell for about 60 than 100. So I'm going to just sell it for parts, and hopefully someone will buy it. Okay, I'm going to just take a handful of pictures. Pineapple, you poor guy. Go lay down. Go lay down. He was down here a few minutes ago, and he seemed to have been calming down, so I thought I was going to be able to go ahead and do this, but it sounded like there might have been a little bit of thunder. I'm going to take as many photos of this as possible. That's 3, 4. The most you can do is 24 on an eBay listing. It's a very short cord. I'm not sure why. Hey, don't dig. Don't dig. Just lay down. I'm not sure what that digging is a calming thing. Look at this poor guy. He's trying to dig on me. Pineapple, no. You're okay. You're okay. Go lay down. Go lay down. Oh. You're okay. You're okay. Come here. He always goes to my wife, Jessica, when he wants fun stuff. If she gets up in the night, he wakes up and goes with her. For me, he comes to me only when he wants somebody to take care of him. He likes to get carried. I even have I got a backpack sometimes I put him in because he only weighs 15 pounds, but you're walking around at 2 o'clock in the morning holding a 15-pound dog in your hands. It gets tiring pretty fast. So I put him in a backpack. That actually works pretty well. He'll sit in there. Sometimes we'll get on the treadmill and walk with him on the backpack, in the backpack. And that usually keeps him pretty calm. But right now I'm not going to get the backpack. I've got too many other things going on. And I really want to get these listings ready to go today. Okay, I'm going to try to get some pictures inside this thing. And I'm going to do all this with him on my lap for the time being. Yeah, they say just treat the dog like you normally would. Don't do anything special when he's scared. But we would normally hold him in our lap even if he wasn't scared. So I don't know what the right thing to do is. We tried to distract him with his training sessions and with treats, but once he gets going, he does not care about a treat at all. Usually you say the word treat and he is very focused on it. Right now you can see he's not, well, you can't see anything, but he is not interested. Good boy. Why don't you lay down? He was laying down under there a minute ago, and that seemed to be working okay. But okay, let's upload some photos. Just going to upload these photos directly into the eBay app. I take the photos with the standard Android phone app, and then I upload them into the eBay app. Somehow I have airplane mode on. Probably don't want to when I'm doing these listings. Okay, I'm not sure where I'm going to put this for storage. Pineapple boy. So I put for parts, not for or for parts of for repair, and then there's a section at the bottom. At least I don't know if I've done this on the app. Oh yeah, here it is. Return policy for something which is for parts of repair. I always put no returns. Apply pineapple. Hey, stop. It seems like unless I put no returns and also choose the condition type of for parts or for repair, pineapple, then somebody can still return it. So I have to do both of those to make sure that this thing will not get returned to me. Pineapple, come on. Do you want to go upstairs? Lay down. You can't do that. You can't do that. And I don't want him digging like that because he's going to hurt himself, but also I don't want him digging like that because he's going to tear the whole house up. So we have a 100-year-old house, and it has all the original flooring and everything. So I really don't want him messing it up if I can help it. Okay, will this fit here? I should get rid of these. They're not really sellable. I probably could sell them on Facebook Marketplace or Mercari or something like that, but these Corningware pots were recalled because of safety issues with them. They do get through eBay sometimes. People do sell them, and they sell for a good amount of money, but I didn't realize they had been recalled, and I tried to list them, and they were removed from eBay. I had a third one that I did sell on Facebook Marketplace, but these two are still left. Okay, I'm going to put a location in the custom SKU field on the app, and this location is called N2B. I usually use all caps for these. I'm not sure why I started doing that, but that's what I typically do. Okay, so I'm going to try to get $30 for that, $36 for it. We'll see how it goes. Okay, I'm going to do these because they look like they'll be quick. These are brackets for a set of Bose outdoor speakers. I'll show you the speakers. I bought them to sell. I can't remember if I paid $15 for the two of them or $15 for the pair. But I didn't do any research wherever I was. I think this was at the Goodwill. I bought them, got them home. I assumed they would be good because the Bose name still means something to people. But once I got them home, I started doing some research and found out they're probably worth between, I don't know, like maximum they'd be worth is $90. And that looks like pretty like perfect condition and unlikely to, I don't think I'm likely to get $90 for them. I think I'm more likely to get $40. And if I pay $30 for them, it's not worth selling them for $40. So I was going to consider putting them in a yard sale. And then I thought I have all of these pieces of stereo equipment that all needs to be tested. I was going to sell this receiver too. And I decided to just keep this here, have it hooked up to the speakers. And then I can test things like this 100 disc changer, which we're going to try to get some pictures of tonight. Get that listed. But I took these brackets off of that, off of those speakers. Here it comes again. And we'll see if anybody wants to buy them. I haven't seen anybody trying to sell them. So no sales history of them whatsoever. But it feels like some things somebody might want, and they might want the original manufacturer brackets. Good boy. Now he's laying down. Yeah, it usually takes 2 to 3 hours. I should check the weather. We do have some pills for him, some anxiety pills. They do have a side effect of making him whine a lot, which is not perfect, not ideal to just be listening to him whine all night long. But it's better that than have him run all around the house, tearing things up and barking and going crazy. So before we got him 3, 4, or 5 years ago, I guess we've had him about 3.5 years. If somebody was complaining to me about fireworks and their dog, I would be rolling my eyes at them. But after experiencing what he goes through, I totally understand that and sympathize with every dog owner, and have considered bodily harm to people who are shooting fireworks in my neighborhood. Last year, like I said, we had to leave our home because the fireworks were it was like a war zone. So we went to a hotel over by the airport where supposedly the rooms are soundproof because of the airplanes. There's also not that many houses nearby there because, who wants to live that close to the airport? So there's not so much activity from fireworks, but there's not no activity. So the rooms are fairly soundproof at the hotel that we stayed at, but not perfectly soundproofed. So some noise was getting in, but nothing like at home. So I would say it was 75% successful to stay in that hotel instead of trying to stay here all night long. The year before that, it got so bad. I mean, even by 5 p.m., it's not even dark yet. It was just nonstop. If I can figure out how to do it, I'll put a video in here of what the fireworks were like here in our neighborhood. I know I have a picture. I know I have a video of it on my Instagram account. I'm just not sure if I can get that onto YouTube. Anyway, there was that was the first year that we had him. And so he came from we don't know his whole story really, but we got him from a shelter, and they told us that he had been abandoned with 5 or 6 other dogs in an apartment, and either somebody moved or somebody died. We don't really know for sure, but he had been abandoned there. They came to the shelter, these 5 or 6 dogs. They all got fruit names. His name's Pineapple. There was Mango and Cherry and Kiwi, etc. And they all got adopted. All 6 of them, or all 5 or 6, I'm not sure how many there were, got adopted. And then somebody brought Pineapple back. And that it makes me sad just to think about it, that he got abandoned 2 times. This is going in crate 1, A, B, C, D, 1E. So he got brought back because the woman said he was too anxious. So we brought him home here late August, maybe even into September. I think it was maybe August 20th or something like that. So we were already past this, the storm season and the fireworks season, and we didn't think he was anxious at all. We were surprised that someone would have a problem with him. But then the next summer, spring and summer came around, we realized, oh yeah, this dog is crazy with storms. So I kind of can understand why somebody wouldn't want to have to deal with a dog like that, but I still feel bad for him and makes me sad about that, thinking about somebody rejecting him. This is a Harley Davidson motorcycle seat. It says, it's labeled right on the bottom, Harley Davidson. I was on my way to work last Monday, and it was, Tuesday is a garbage day on that stretch of road, and somebody had put this out in their garbage, and I pulled over and grabbed it. I didn't even know it was a Harley thing, but I was sure this had some kind of value. Just the seat, even if it was just a generic seat, it would be worth more than throwing it in the garbage. But I wasn't sure. I pulled it out, threw it in the back of my car. I didn't even look at it. It stayed in the back of my car for probably a week. Well, yeah, probably a week. And then I decided, well, I better take a look at that thing. So I looked at the bottom. I see the Harley Davidson logo right here. You probably can't see it. I'm going to try to get it on the photo, but it's like embedded in the plastic, so it could be tough to read. Anyway, it's from a 2019 model. It looks like they probably bought this motorcycle, decided they wanted a different seat on it, and took this one off. And probably had it in their garage for 4 or 5 years, and then decided enough's enough. Let's just get rid of that thing and throw it in the garbage. I've seen some similar ones selling for $600, $800. This particular model, not quite as valuable. Some people have it listed in used condition for only like $60. I think I'm going to try to get, let's see what I'm going to try to get. I'm going to try to get 93 for it, and then I'll take offers as low as 76. That seems to be about the middle of the price range for people selling these. I probably should take more photos, but I don't really know how to. You know, in what other angles can you take a picture of this thing? And I feel like somebody who's going to buy it knows what it is. I don't know where I'm going to store this. It probably will end up going out in the garage. But for now, let's see. For now, I'm just going to lean it right here, and I'm going to put BR1 in the listing. That's bedroom 1 for the lowest shelf there. And then I'll know where to look for it if it happens to sell before I put it somewhere else. But I do have some bigger stuff I keep out in the garage. So that will almost certainly end up out there if it doesn't sell quickly. Okay, the next thing I'll go to is I have 2 of these. I'm not an expert on, I guess, IT stuff, but this is some kind of Cisco switch, managed port switch. I mean, I don't really know what it does. It came from, I bought quite a few things, a handful of things anyway, from an online auction that handles municipal surplus stuff, and this was from a public library. And the other things I'll be listing here from the same deal. I have no idea the condition or anything like that, if it works or not. It doesn't have any plug. Even if it could plug in, I don't know what I would do with it. You know, I don't even know how you would test it. But even untested, these things sell okay. I think I paid around $20 to $30. $28 I paid for this. I have 2 of them. And I'm going to try to get 85, 86 for it. That might be like the middle of the range. Some of them that say tested and working are selling for 400 to 300 to 400. I don't want to try that not knowing if it works or not. So I'm just going to list it. I'm not going to list it for parts, which I have. I have done that before for items where I can't confirm if it works or not. Where did he go? Where'd you go, bud? Pineapple? Come back in here. He seems to be calming down a little bit. So Cisco SG352MP 52 port gigabit PoE managed switch. If anybody knows what that is, feel free to let me know. I don't know what it is, and I don't think I'm gonna do the research. If somebody will buy it, that's all that matters to me right now. It has a few scratches on the top, but it's pretty good condition. And here's the Serial numbers, probably a good idea to get photos of serial numbers on things like this in case somebody wants to do a switcheroo on you. You know, if they have something that's broken, they'll buy one on eBay and then send the broken one back, claim the one that you sent them doesn't work. I don't think that happens too often. Those are the sort of stories you hear that scare people off of selling on eBay, that there's a lot of scammers out there, and there are some, but I mean, I haven't experienced that many. In the time that I've been listing seriously for the last three or so years, I think I've had exactly one person that I'm 99% sure was trying to scam me. So, you know, thousands of sales, most of them just go off without a hitch. Okay, that's 13 photos. There's not much on this thing. And again, I don't know where I'm going to put this, but we'll figure out a place. I think it's going to end up in here somewhere. I do have some sales tonight that I'm going to be moving some of this stuff out. I'm going to just scoot this chair over. I have some stuff just sitting on the floor here. And if I can get this one there, I'm going to do that. So I have a second one. I need to find the location for both of them. This is going to be LR6A. So I'm going to put that in the custom SKU field, so I'll know where to look for this later. LR6A. So these aren't huge turnarounds. If I pay $28 for it and I sell it for $80 or $70 or $80, I'll make $30 or $40 on each of these things. I have a second one, so I might as well do that one next. This one's a little more scratched up than the other. I don't do a lot of multiples where where you have a listing, you have one listing that has 10 of the same items on it. I don't do a lot of that. I have some items like that, but I just don't come across items in bulk that commonly. And these I wouldn't want to do that way because they look different. This one has more scratches than the other one. So I want to have individual photos for each one. And eBay doesn't always make that easy because they don't let you have listings that have the same title. So you have to come up with some way to differentiate the two. So you typically just try to put, like, at the very end of the listing title, you just put a number 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, whatever you want to do. That's what I'm doing with most of these things today. And that works out all right, but then you're potentially wasting keyword space that you could have in your listing title. The bottom of this thing was really dirty, and now it's gotten my white backdrop dirty. So let's just clean that out quickly. This thing has been working out pretty well. I managed to get quite a few scratches in it from sliding metal stuff around like this. So I might have to flip it sooner or later. I don't know, maybe the inside is probably nicer. This side has a little texture on it, and then the back side is a little smoother. So maybe I'll switch it around. I guess this one piece I can use 4 times. I can flip it that way and then flip it upside down and do it all over again if it gets too messed up. Okay. I'm putting 3 or 4 photos across here, and then I'll do one from the top and try to get a close-up of those scratches. There's nothing major scratch-wise. I don't think I'm assuming somebody's going to buy this who, they work in some public building that something went out and they need a new one right away, and hopefully these things don't make them anymore. So they just want to have exactly the same thing that they started with. That's my assumption. somebody who will buy this. Okay, let's do the bottom. Bottom has some scratches as well. Nothing too bad. But it does have a label on it that has all this information. This device complies with Part 15 of the FCC rules. Okay, that one's ready to list. Let's get back to my drafts. So I know some eBay sellers want to keep similar items together. But I have a suspicion if I did that, I would be grabbing the wrong item and sending the wrong thing to somebody. So if I have things that are too similar, I usually try to keep them as far apart from each other as I can so I don't make a mistake when it comes time to pick it and pack it. So let's see if we can find a place to put this that's not by that other one. Could go right here. Yeah, there we go. So this is N2, N2 A, B, C, D, N2D. Whoops. N2D. There we go. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 listings ready to go. I have this. I have several of these. I have 3 of these, I guess, which also came from that library. These are RFID scanners. I guess they would scan books with them to figure out where they belong on the shelf or whatever. I got the 3 of them. All 3 are in different, have slightly different components along with them. So this is another one where I can't do a multiple listing. I can't just say I have 1 listing and here's 3 items in it. Also, I need to do a video of this showing that it actually works. So this one has 2 batteries and a charger. So it should be number 34. Let's make a video of it working real quickly. I'm not too worried about these videos if I have to make a video like this of making it fancy or well composed or anything. It's just to show that the thing works. So I'm going to press video here. I do them in squares. I usually turn, well, I might as well do it. I usually turn these lights off up above because they cause a banding effect across the video. They're at a different frequency than the camera is. In this case, it's going to make it a little bit darker so the screen is easier to see too. So I'm just going to, eBay only allows you to do 1 minute or less of a video. There's other ways to do, like post videos on YouTube and have them be seen on YouTube somehow, but I mean on eBay somehow. But I'm just trying to use the native eBay built-in videos, and it's not ideal. They don't let you use the eBay app to post videos, which is obviously the most likely place where you're going to be making a video. So I'm just going to quietly turn this thing on and get a quick video of it working. So that was only 20 seconds long. This, I only charged 1 of these batteries, and I'm going to use it on all 3 of these devices to make videos quickly. So since eBay doesn't allow you to use the app to post videos, I'm going to have to go in to the browser, Chrome browser, and then log into eBay. Find the listing on this website, which is not mobile friendly. Make sure I have the right one. This one is 34, I think I said. Yeah, 34. Then resume this draft. Okay, now where you would usually upload a picture, you can upload a video. So I'm going to upload this. Let it get going. Takes a little while to upload, even though it's only a 20-second video. And then it says upload failed. This happens at least half the time. Try it again. I don't know if it thinks, I'm not sure why it fails so often. Typically it works the second time you try it. Right now it says 1% uploaded, and that's where it's staying. It says you can add up to 24 photos and a 1-minute video. I know people have been able to upload videos that are longer than 1 minute by making them a lower resolution. So the file size is smaller. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but it seems to work. Okay, now that worked. It says it's under review. Now I will go to save it for later. It has the video in it now, and then I can just go back to the eBay app again. So first I'm going to get all this laid out and take pictures of all the stuff that comes with this machine. I don't know if this library decided to move away from RFID technology tracking their books, or really what their story was. But if I can get this stuff for cheap enough, could potentially be worth a pretty good amount of money. This one, make sure I got the right one. Now I have 29, so that's the wrong one. This is the right one. I'm going to try to sell these for, I paid $30 a piece for them, $31, and I'm going to try to sell them for $100. So again, this isn't going to be the hugest turnaround, but it's not too bad. So back from video to photo. I'm going to jump back a little bit. Okay, there's one photo of everything. Now we'll move this out. We'll just do a photo of the scanner. Do one in this direction. I'm assuming that nobody would buy this without knowing exactly what they're getting. They're not looking for, nobody's just looking for a generic RFID scanner. They're looking for exactly the one that works with the environment that they're already working in. I don't know what industries use these besides libraries. In fact, let's get a picture of the bottom of this. This says on the bottom, 3M is made by 3M. I thought it said something about 3M Library Division or something like that. It says made in the USA, so that's something. Let's do these cables, separate them and take some pictures of them. I don't know how many pictures they need of these things. Went into portrait mode, which makes it like a little bit foggy. I accidentally put it in portrait mode. Okay, these things can go in here. Now I forgot which one of these was charged. I was going to do videos of all three of these with the one battery that was charged. these in here. So this one says 34. This is the item numbers that the auction house already put on them. I'm just reusing them as ID numbers, so I'll know in my location I'll put 34, and then I'll know which one to grab if this sells. Okay, let's put these photos in here. Start with this. Okay, that's only 11 pictures, but I think that's probably enough. Okay, I'm not going to put this anywhere. I already know where I'm going to save this, where I'm going to store this, I think. So for now, I'm just going to hang on to it because I want to reuse that one charged battery. So this one is basically the same thing, but it comes with like a carrying case of some kind. I'm not sure why you would want that, but there it is. It comes with it. And two batteries again. This comes undone. This is not the prettiest picture I've ever taken. Sometimes when I'm taking pictures of like items, I'll just do some blank shots of the wall in between, so it's very easy to tell when I switch from one to the other. So if I'm doing a bunch of books that are all the same, it would be very easy to not know where I ended, volume 12 and switch to volume 13. So I don't always do it. Sometimes I forget, but I'll do these in between blank shots to help me know when one is over and one has started. I probably should take some photos of the outside of that box to include with that other listing. Okay, let's do this thing. This thing. Now this side. It looks like there's a slot in the front. I don't know if there's something that's supposed to be in there that's missing. I hope not. Get the bottom and then get this label. And I'm going to do a video of that in a second. I'm just going to do all these cords and things together in one go. Throw them back in the bin. Get these batteries out. This has a label on the bottom, so I'll take a photo of that. And then 2 batteries. Whoops. And then the labels on the bottom of the batteries. Okay, those can go in there. Now this thing, carrying case. And then we'll quickly do the outside. All these look exactly the same on the outside, so I'm going to just do one photo of this and then include it on all 3 of those listings. Maybe I'll do 2. Maybe I'll do 2 pictures. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to that. Okay. Starting to get myself confused here. This is the problem with doing similar items. Come on, bud. Here comes Pineapple again. Come here, buddy. Come here. You okay? You feeling better? Okay. I see he seems to be calming down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to add one of those. I'm going to add those 2 pictures on the outside of the case to this listing. Which should be number 34, which I have here in the item specifics. So that's good. Now we need to go to battery. This one has 2 batteries. So this is the next one. Should be 33. And yeah, it is. So let's add these photos of 33. So that's 12 photos of that. Now, while those photos are uploading, I'm gonna quickly do, whoops, hope that doesn't hurt this thing. Do a video. So I don't know if it matters. I do my videos in square format so that they match up with eBay's photo format. So let's we're just gonna quietly make another video really quickly. It should just be 20 or 30 seconds long. So here we go. What's happening? Okay, I pressed it before I was ready. Okay, video. Sometimes I put the camera on a tripod to do this, but I don't feel like it today. Okay, battery is in. Now we'll look at the screen. It takes about 20 seconds to load. But I'm not supposed to be talking during this, I forgot. So I'm going to stop this one, do it again without talking. I apologize for wasting your time. Okay, here we go again. Remind me not to talk this time. Okay, so that one is finished. So I'm gonna put those away. That one's 33, that one's 34, that one's 29. They had a ton of these. I was trying to get them all, but I got outbid. Okay, we'll go back to, your phone is almost out of space. Taking too many videos, I guess. We'll go back to the web. And this eBay app is not mobile friendly. I mean, the app is, but the website is not, which is wild to me. And we're going to 33, and we're going to add this video. And that did not upload all of the photos that I took. Okay, 1% done. Let's see if it fails again this time. I see it's up to 6%. Sometimes it loads all the way to 100 and then it fails. So we'll see what happens. But for whatever reason, it only loaded 5 of the photos that I added. So we're going to have to go back to that eBay app and re-upload the second half of these pictures. Okay, it should know it's finished when it says under review. They don't allow you to put any videos up without somebody taking a look at them first on eBay. Okay, let's go back here and see why those pictures didn't load. It might be because I navigated away from the app while they were in the middle of loading. Okay, so we ended with this one, so we'll do these, done. And then I guess we'll just wait for these all to load. And hit done. Okay, so we've got 2 of those finished. And the third one is not as good as the other 2. It doesn't have as much accessories. It doesn't have a charger. It has a battery, but no charger. I think that battery is pretty good. I was going to try to store these 2 of these right here, and I'm deciding right now this is a bad idea. So I'm going to for the time being, I'm just going to set these here and then worry about them later. Okay, so this one, it just has the scanner and the case and one battery. I'm going to put this battery here. So I still will want to do a video of it because this one also powers on. I checked it earlier. So I'm going to get ready to do that, and then we will get these photos. Whoops. Shoot, I still have it on video. Okay, we'll get some photos quickly. Okay, we do a photo from this angle, from this angle, from this angle, and then from the bottom. I'm not sure how this thing works, what this whole contraption is for. Maybe this is the actual RFID part. Okay, that's finished. Now the battery. So that battery is done. This one should have a little bit of a charge on it. I think it's probably enough to turn that on and make a video of it really quick. 3M logo. Okay, let's put these into the app. This one should say 29 on it. This one. So 11 photos. Let's wait for them to load this time, and then we'll go back to the camera and get some video. So that's done. Back to the camera. This is going to be another one of these 20-second videos, so I'm going to try to remember to be quiet again this time. Okay, here we go, being quiet. Okay. I have seen other sellers who make videos of their items and they talk through them and explain what they're doing and if the thing is working properly and how it's intended to work and everything like that. I don't typically do that. Oh, this one came with a second stylus. I'll just stick it in here and it'll be a freebie. I don't like to do that. I just want to show the thing works and that's it, you know. And I want those videos to be as short as they can be. I mean, they're only allowed to be 1 minute, so I try to keep them 20 seconds or 30 seconds. Okay, we're going to go back to the eBay website, which just seems to be having a hard time loading. And then we should be looking at 29, which is the one we just did. Resume that draft. I really wish they would make this available on the app, which, I mean, it only makes sense that you want to upload a video, you should be doing it from the app. I have to imagine 90% of people who are making videos are doing them on their phone. The one I made earlier today was the next thing we're going to do, this 100 disc CD changer, and the video was 1 minute and 16 seconds or something like that. So I I did some editing with it to it on the phone to shorten it under 1 minute, and then it will not allow me to upload it. I'm not sure why. So in that case, I have to upload that video to my Google Drive, and then I'll go to a computer later, download the video from Google, and then upload it to the eBay website, which is way more steps than I want to do for this project. Okay, so what do I have next? Okay, Pioneer. We have 2 more items. I'm just gonna find a place to store those later, and I think I might do that with. I mean, some of these things are gonna end up in the garage, so I'm gonna save them for later. This is the one I made a video of earlier. That was a minute 16. It's one of these high capacity disc changers. So this is in my entire life, I never saw one of these. In my lifespan, I never saw one of these things in person. Then one day, it was at Unique. I wasn't a Pioneer brand, it's a Sony brand, but it looks identical. So I'm not sure if Sony and Pioneer had some kind of a arrangement to make the same manufacturer making products for them or what. I'm not sure. I got I think it's a 300 disc CD changer, a Sony one, and then a 400 disc DVD changer. I got both of those on the same day. So I sold one of them, I think, already for over $200. Maybe it was even like 400. Can't remember exactly. This has some tape residue. I don't know if they had I don't know if the cord maybe was taped to the side. But I'm going to spend a couple of minutes getting it off with some of this Goo Gone, if I can. So Goo Gone is some kind of an oil. I think it might be like a citrus oil. So usually if you use it to get residue of a sticker off, then you have to use something else to get the residue of the Goo Gone off. So it really is a multi-step process of getting stickers off. And then just recently, the Goodwill switched the format of the stickers they use, and they came up with some that are much more intense and very difficult to get off. So far, I've only bought one shopping trip with that, and I spend more time getting the sticker off than I spent in the store. Sometimes this Goo Gone needs to sit for a minute before you really start trying to get the residue off. But I don't want to spend a lot of time here, so I'm just going to get right to it. If it doesn't come off, it doesn't come off. I don't know if that's a deal breaker for a buyer, probably not. I mean, I bought it with residue on it. Somebody else would buy it with residue on it too. It's a pretty big patch. I have a suspicion it was duct tape. And that residue is intense. If you can see this stuff peeling off, some of it is the residue and some of it is the paper towel. Here's what we'll do. I'm going to put some of this on liberally and let it sit for a minute. And while we do that, let's go to the computer in the other room and see if we can't get the video I took of this loaded to this listing. Okay. So this one is Pioneer. Okay, so I'll resume that draft, and then while that is loading, I'm going to go to my Google Drive and download this video. It's probably going to give me a warning that it's scanning for viruses and that it's too big, and then I tell it to download it anyway, and then we just wait for it to do its job. Okay, then we go back to this listing. Upload. They used to have a separate button here that said upload videos, and it has gone away. Now, is it going to work? Yeah, it says 1% right now, so hopefully that works. Okay, 2, 4. Okay, while that's loading, I'm going to stop the video and come back in a second. Okay, we're back, and that has finished loading, so should be fine. Let me just save it to be sure. I think once you make any changes, it really saves those changes automatically, but I'm going to save that just so that I know that video was on that listing. Okay, now we'll go back to this residue and see if we can get it the rest of the way off. Should have had enough time to do some work. I like this Goo Gone. This is Duck brand. I like it because it has a built-in applicator. You're just not spraying that stuff all over the place. Usually you put more on than you really need. So this thing keeps it under control. I like that pretty good. Still quite a bit here. Sometimes you have to do multiple applications of a Goo Gone to get it off. All right. I'm not going to subject you to this. I'm going to stop the video again, and then we'll come back when it's all cleared off. Okay, we're back. I got this thing all cleaned off. It took a lot longer than I thought it would. But that's okay, because it's a relatively valuable item. I think I only paid about $15 for it. It came from a Unique. And let's see, I paid $15.50 for it, and I'm going to try to sell it for $120, so that's not too bad. I've got a few photos already taken, so I'm just going to upload them directly into the eBay app and then move on to the final item for tonight. This is going to end up being a pretty long video, so I don't want to spend too much more time. I do have some orders to pick tonight as well, so I don't know where I'm going to put this. I've been running out of room. Okay, there's no room over there. There's no room over there. It's going to have to go in here somewhere. And this is not a good location, but it's going to have to do for now. Hopefully none of this stuff on the bottom sells right away until some of the stuff on the top sells. So that is LR8C. Location. And put it into the app. So if that sells, I should make $90 on it. Probably willing to take an offer a little bit less. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, then the very last thing is pretty hefty. I should show you these. I got these dictionaries, encyclopedias from that library auction. And they're worth a pretty good amount, like $500 to $600. So it seems like a couple of years ago, encyclopedias were totally worthless, but somehow in the last couple of years, they've gone back up in value. And especially, they're sort of a middle ground. Ones that are like a few years old aren't worth that much. Ones that are really old are worth a lot. ones that are brand new. These are 2023 editions. So I'm going to list these for $400 or $500 and try to get some profit going in my eBay business. I'm plugging these lights back in. Okay, this is professional quality backpack vacuum. And unfortunately they cut the box all up, but this has never been used. It's brand new. So I saw this, the local, I mean, it's a relatively local online auction site. Their location is over an hour away from here. And I had bought some boots from them a couple of weeks ago. I won this auction for these boots. And I had seen this vacuum listed, and I put a bid of, I think, probably 260 or 280 or something like that. I put a bid in. They had a reserve on their listing, so I did not win the bid. But while I was on my way to pick up those boots from them, the auction house called me and said that the reserve on this vacuum was $300, and I had bid $280 or something. I can't remember if it was $260 or $280, but it was pretty close to the reserve. So they asked me if I would want to pay the reserve price and be the winner on this auction. So I did, because this thing is worth, I would say $1,100 to $1,200. So after all fees and taxes and everything, I spent about $368 on this thing, and then I'm going to try to list it for $1,200 and then lower it down if I have to. But if I can get $1,200 for it, that'd be great. It's really too big for this little photo station I have here, so I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. This is the battery charger. You can see the cord is still, I mean, it's never been used at all. There's vacuum bags and filters in here. They're totally clean. The seller said it had never been used, but you never really know until you open something up and take a look at it. But this clearly had never been used. Here's the battery. It's pretty heavy. I mean, this thing weighs, I would say it weighs 25, 30 pounds with the battery in it. And then you're going to fill it with dirt too. So I'm not sure how somebody does this job, hauling this giant heavy thing around on their back, vacuuming up. I don't even know what they use to vacuum with it. And here's the accessories. It's a crevice tool. And then look, all this is still wrapped. This is definitely brand new. Let's try to get this all laid out here. I like to have none of my background stuff showing outside of my white backdrop, but it looks like in this case I'm not going to really have a choice. So I hope this sells fast. If this sells this month, that'll be a good, what it would be, about a $600 or $700 profit, and then that will help me stay on track for 2025's. I'm shooting for $50,000 this year profit. Last year I was just at 30,000, so I'm hoping to increase that. I have a feeling I'm not going to make it, but I'm trying. Okay, let's just take these pictures. This again, I think, is a sort of item that the person who buys it knows exactly what they're getting into. So you can see from I don't know if you can see from my photos, but it's gonna have to include some of the stuff that is on outside of the frame. And I'm not about to go and put this in Photoshop and clean it out, even though I could do that. I'm not going to. Okay, so there's the main photo that has everything. Let's go through this a little bit at a time. I'm not sure how it all fit in this box. I squeezed it all back in there, but it was pretty tight. And I'm not sure if it's going to be okay to ship in that way, but I mean, it has no top, so I'm gonna have to put some kind of a top on it and reconfigure a box somehow. But for now, I'm gonna get it in here. This is definitely gonna have to go in the garage, so I don't have any room for this in my house. This giant box. Okay, well, let's start. We'll just get the vacuum on its own. A few different angles of it. I'm gonna pull this battery out if I can. If I can get it out. All this stuff is pretty tight, which is, again, a sign that it has never been used. There it is. Okay, we're just going to keep getting photos of this. This is the back that shows all the straps and everything. Oh, I should try to get the label with a model number on it. Okay, so we'll call that good enough on the main unit. We've got the vacuum battery. That goes back in this box, I think. Yep, that fits in there just fine. Next, we'll do the battery charger. I'm only going to just do maybe one picture of this. Does it have anything on the back? Yeah, I better get this side. So there's that. Get this put away. The auction place is about an hour north of here. So I had to drive all the way up there to get those boots, and then the place where this vacuum was about an hour and a half south of here. So I drove an hour, then turned around and drove an hour and a half, and then I had to turn around and drive an hour to get home. So it was quite a day. So I need to sell this for a pretty good amount of money to cover all of that work time. Okay, there's the hose. This extension wand, I don't know how this thing works. It's pretty cool though. So that goes back in this box. Accessories. I might be running out of photos already. So I'm going to do these two together. And put them all back in here. And then we just have the manuals and stuff. There actually were two sets of these manuals, so I don't know if this company had two of these vacuums and decided to sell one, never used the other one. Or they probably used one and never used the one, so they just sold it. But I don't know, maybe I'll consider checking to see if I can sell the manual on its own. Probably not, but maybe. Okay, I think that's going to be enough. So let's get this into this app. I have a feeling we're already at 24 photos. Well, maybe not. 18. It's close enough. Yeah, this is for sure going to end up in the garage. So I'm not even going to put a location on this. I'm going to just put this back in this box for now. I'm not even going to put the vacuum away for now. This has been quite an ordeal getting all this together. So I'm going to just call it a night. It's only 5 o'clock, but we got to get dinner, and then I'm going to be back down here around 8 packing up tonight's orders. So I know this was a long one. You probably didn't make it all the way to the end, but if you did, I really appreciate it. Thanks for sticking with me. I'll be back. I'll definitely be back soon with a packing video because I've got about 6 items to pack tonight. So thanks for watching again, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.